So my coworker Donna just let me know that she desperately needs my help. She's known about a report for over a month that she has to complete, and now the report is due today in 1 hour. But she's scheduled to get off in an hour, but she's thinking that it will take a couple of hours to complete it. So the reason why she waited is because she was told that it was a simple task, but now that she's actually looked at the report, she's not even sure where to begin. So she wants us to tag team so that way we can go ahead and get the report completed. But instead of going that route, I told her that she can shadow me so that she can see the steps. So now let's go ahead and take a look at this report. So instead of the report going in a horizontal format, it needs to be in a vertical format. So highlighting our data set, let's copy, access paste special, and then we're going to leave this defaulted to all, and we're going to press E for transpose and enter. So now you can see that our data is flipped. Let's go ahead and make this column name call rating. Now we have to add a rating for each call using this formula. So I'm going to use the switch function, and here's the way that it looks. Now, if the agent score is less than or equal to 60, the value that I want to be returned is keep trying. Less than or equal to 75, almost there. Less than or equal to 91, average, and greater than or equal to 92, above average. So let's go ahead and press enter, and now you can see that we have all of our ratings. So let's go ahead and double click to fill down. Let's turn on the filter. Now, using the filter, we can actually see all 4 of our ratings that populated. So now let's go ahead and name this column calls monitored, and all of this report data is for 2025. So now our focus is to ensure that each and every agent received 12 scores for the year. But we actually have to verify. We need to see the total number of times that each individual's name appears in the list. So here's the formula that we're going to use, and we're going to use the count if function. So here's the entire range that we need to check for with our names. Now pressing F4 once, I want to lock my cells for the starting position of the list. And then I'm going to press F4 because I also need to do the same thing for the ending position of the list. Now selecting F2 because I need to find this name in the list. So double click to fill down. We still have our formulas in columns E and F, so let's go ahead and get rid of those. So we're going to copy the entire range for these columns, access paste special, V for values, and now the formulas are gone. So let's go ahead and add some borders and center align. So let me go ahead and take off my filter and put it back on. So now that I can filter this column. So any numbers that are less than 12 is an indication that an agent didn't receive 12 scores. So let's go ahead and filter this 8 to take a look. So highlighting the cells that have Hayes' name, looking at the status bar at the bottom, you can see that he only has 8 scored calls. So let's go ahead and clear the filter. So let's go ahead and make a copy of this entire worksheet for our report. So we're going to go ahead and press Shift and Control. And then while holding those down, let's go ahead and drag the worksheet name to the right. Now you can see that we have a duplicate copy. So now let's go ahead and go back to the filter, number filters, equals, and let's go ahead and enter 12. So this will show us all of the agents that have 12 calls. Granted that no 2 agents have the same names. And so if there are multiple agents that have the same name, then using something like a unique agent ID would be a better approach in this case. So looking at my status bar, we can see that both not only the min, but also the max is 12. So 12 is the only number that appears in all of these cells that we have highlighted. So let's go ahead and delete these rows, and then we're going to clear the filters, because those agents that have 12 calls, they're not our focus. So now we're left with everyone who needs additional scoring. So looking back at the status bar, we have a minimum of 8 and a max of 11. So now we still have more work to do. So let's go ahead and give these headers a gray background, and then let's ensure that they have borders and also that they're center aligned. So as we move down, our headers disappear, and we don't want this. So let me go ahead and select my headers, and let's go ahead and go to view, and then we're going to freeze our top row. let's go ahead and adjust the column for the column widths just to make it look a lot neater. So now let's go ahead and rename the worksheet. We're going to use the Windows key and press period to add an emoji. And let's go ahead and change the worksheet color to red. And that will be an indication that action is still required. So now with our names highlighted, we can see that there are 40 names in the list. We absolutely do have time to go row by row, but why do we want to do that when there's a more efficient route that we can actually take? So instead of doing that, we're going to use the unique function, and we're going to select the cells that have all of our names. And now we can actually see that there are 4 agents total in the list that need additional scoring. So now we can also come over here and use the filter, and we can also use that as verification where we can see that there are also the same 4 names in that list as well. So Donna can add these 4 names to the body of her email, and she can go ahead and attach the report. But let me go ahead and show you something else. So let's go ahead and bring back over our original data set. Let's go ahead and highlight all of the columns. We're going to double click to auto adjust the column width. So let's go ahead and flip our data set by using a different method. But this time we're going to use the transpose function. So go ahead and type equal and transpose. Let's select our data set and press enter. So the only difference is for our dates, I need to go ahead and go back and change this from general to short date. And now you can see that our dates have actually populated. So let's go ahead and use copy. Let's access paste special. And then we're going to use V for values only to go ahead and get rid of the actual formulas. So Donna just went back over to her desk because she's going to send the missing critical report to our manager, the one that we created. So I've been a part of so many interview panels, and I've had to ask this question. This is a very fast-paced environment, and when you're working on multiple projects that all have the same due date, how do you prioritize your work to ensure that you meet all of your deadlines? Well, as a tip, even if you look at something and do an analysis and at a first glance it appears to be simplistic, don't wait until the last minute to get it done, even if you know all of the steps that it takes to actually complete this task. What happens if you lose a connection to the internet, or what happens if your computer crashes? Well, if you've known about this report for over a month, then those really aren't valid reasons. So now Donna is back over here at my desk, and she is looking at me like she is about to shut down my computer. So we are out of here, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.